Hardcover Feedback. I'm Brandi Smits.
I'm Tracey Hill.
And today we are discussing Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor.
Carew lives two lives. The first life consists of a tattooed, blue-haired painter who lives in Prague and attends an art school. The second life is a little more unusual. Carew sneaks off to a door that, when it's distinctively knocked, opens an entrance to the world of chimera, creatures composed of a number of human and animal features. A handprint burned into the door initiates the rebirth of a war long dormant between the chimera and the angels, and Carew is shocked to learn her place in it.
This semester, she needed to come up with a theme for a series of paintings, but so far nothing had set her mind on fire. As she was pondering ideas, she heard the tinkle of bells on the door. A few men came in, and a darting shadow behind them caught Carew's eye. It was the size and shape of a crow, but it was nothing so mundane. It was Kishmish. She straightened up and cast a quick glance at her friend. Zuzana was sketching puppet ideas in her notebook and barely responded when Carew excused herself. She went into the bathroom, and the shadow followed, low and unseen. Brimstone's messenger had the body and beak of a crow, but the membranous wings of a bat, and his tongue, when it flicked out, was forked. He looked like an escapee from a Bosch painting, and he was clutching a note with his feet. When Carew took it, she saw that his little knife-like talons had pierced the paper through. She unfolded it and read the message, which took all of 2 seconds, as it only said, "Errand requiring immediate attention, come." "He never says please," she remarked to Kishmish. The creature cocked his head to one side, crow style, as if to inquire, "Are you coming?" I'm coming, Carew said. "Don't I always?" I love this book a lot, for a lot of reasons. Mm-hmm. Specifically, fantastic writing style.
Yeah, gorgeous writing style.
She's so lyrical, and she's deliberate, but it's like a weird subtlety at the same time, because you don't really know what it means until later, and then it's like, oh my goodness, she hit us with a hammer when she was telling us this, but we didn't know why.
Yeah.
And it's really fantastic.
Yeah, her selection of details to describe what we eventually find out is a really lush and elaborate world outside of our own. She keeps everything moving along. It doesn't get bogged down in that description, and the world that she presents is pretty amazing in its own right. Populated with so many different kinds of people.
Yes,
they're people.
Creatures.
They have personalities. I mean, that they're no different from human than except in appearance and in the function of their bodies and in the way that they handle things.
Right. First of all, there are two basic teams of people. There's the chimera or however you want to say it. It's been pronounced several different ways, but basically it's just a creature that is made up of human and animal parts. So, for example, Issa, she's a serpent. She's got a serpent body, but she's got a human torso. There's a wolf man that's all wolf body, but with a human head. Or is it vice versa? I can't remember. Maybe it's vice versa. Maybe it's a human body and a wolf head. And there's just a whole bunch of different ones in there. And so that's one faction. And the other faction is a group of angels, but not sitting on my Christmas tree angels, but vicious
warrior
warriors
angels,
that keep track of their kills by scarring themselves after battles, and it's very intense. And somehow Carew is in the middle of all of this
and had no idea for the longest time, and she just was living this unusual sort of life where she can see the chimera, and other people are either oblivious or just don't notice or truly cannot see them. So, but regardless, she's privy to all of these unusual things and these other passageways out of our world and into another and shortcuts through our own world too.
Right.
So, and she has unusual duties that she has to carry out for the
Leader guy?
Brimstone she lives with, and he's effectively her family.
Right.
And several select others are her family, and this is all she knows.
And discussing like Brimstone and everyone else, that's one thing that Taylor does, is Taylor does not make a flippant character. There is no such thing as a character in her books that is not purposefully created and executed in a way that needs to be done.
Yeah, and you know
deliberate.
They're not going to be any throwaways.
No.
There's no real throwaway stuff.
No, not at all.
It's kind of a long book, and you'd think, oh, what teen's going to sit through that? No, it reads really well. It goes fast. It moves along quickly. It's not difficult to read, and you can say, oh, it's a teen book, but no.
No,
it's
not even
it's
a
got
little bit.
levels of the writing style is really sophisticated,
Right.
surprisingly, and the creation of the worlds is hardly simplistic, and yet she's so good at selecting what things to mention and what things to describe, and selecting elements for the story that nothing is wasted and nothing superfluous.
It's one of the things that I like to use as like an analogy for this book. I like to say this book is written like an onion. She continually gives you layers, and then she'll peel those layers back and show you something completely unknown beneath the surface. And as like the more you pull, the more potent the story gets. The more that you can't ignore it, and it just grabs you and maybe makes you cry, because that's a real thing too. But it's just it's beautiful. This is not like, I feel like when we discuss, teen books that have supernatural or paranormal elements, immediately people are like, oh, like Twilight or something like that. And it's like, no.
Like that.
There is a distinct amount of authors that take such pride in their work that they're not just writing for audiences that don't matter. So I feel like that's a lot of an adult feeling.
Yes, it's well crafted.
Yes.
She's like, just because I'm writing toward a younger audience doesn't mean I can't make this something excellent for them. And she doesn't treat the audience like we're stupid.
Exactly.
She treats us like, okay, come along with me. I will show you all of this. And she opens up onto this beautiful, lush vista of a world and this beautiful, lush story overall, and again, nothing wasted, everything's relevant. And I should mention real quick that I was so skeptical of this at first because I thought Carew sounded too good to be true. She sounded like a total Mary Sue. She sounded like just some character that had no flaws, that did nothing wrong, that had this unusual life, and we should feel for her, and we should root for her, and we should follow her no matter where she goes. But she screws up.
Oh, yeah.
She's totally human in that she screws up.
And to add, this is the first in a trilogy.
Yeah.
And what she continually goes throughout the entire trilogy, like, throws that theory so far away.
Yeah,
like, it's not even close. But what's interesting, I think, we have kind of like a weird juxtaposition in the books that we chose, because we're sitting here discussing how Carew is so mature in what she has to do, but it's so believable, even in a world where angels and demon creatures from other dimensions exist. And then we had another book that was written by an adult for adults with a child character,
and
it's
it just
totally
doesn't,
off the map.
Yeah.
So it's like it's possible to have something that is literally substance-based that you can do and still have it aimed at a younger audience. It can be appreciated.
Yeah.
And with the teens I've given this to, it is appreciated. I mean, this book is loved and highly, highly rated by them. And, I mean, highly rated by me as well.
And a satisfying read as its own book. It's not like, oh, horrible cliffhanger. Like, yes, you do need to read the next two books, but it's a satisfying read in its own right.
Exactly.
So it's a complete story.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. For sure. It's not made as a book that you need to pick up the second one.
Yeah, right.
You can be one and done,
it
and it can be fine.
done. Yep, absolutely.
So, yeah, I give Daughter of Smoke and Bone 4 stars.
Okay, and a really strong 3.5 from me.
Today we read Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. I gave it 4 stars.
I gave it 3.5.
And we will see you next time.